Hello, hello. It's 5D Attraction. And I just wanted to talk to you all. Um, you know, in my last video, we talked about ways to demonstrate high status. Simple ways. Wearing a shirt with a certain logo on it and things like that. So now, when you're communicating with a woman, how do you communicate in a way where you don't lose value? A lot of the time when we're texting, when we're talking, we speak in a way that is very human, which is fine because we are humans. But sometimes, in the way we communicate, we can come off very regular, very normal. So one of the biggest things that you can do to make your stories more interesting, to make your communication more interesting, and to demonstrate more value, is to make sure. And here's something that I call an attraction trigger. In your communication. Essentially, what you do is when you communicate, there's two ways you can say, I went to the store. You can say, yeah, I walked to the store. Or you can say, yeah, I walked to the store down the street. I had a great conversation with the owner at the store. We talked a bit of business, and then I had to hurry up and get back. But what are you up to? It's very subtle, right? You'll think like, what does that mean? But it adds richness to your day. It takes one explanation was an explanation that a million guys can do. The other explanation was one that one guy would do. It's now taking your experience of life and separating yourself from the pack, giving it a certain amount of reality, a certain level of her zooming into your inner world. Another example, she might say, hey, what's going on? Be like, man, I've been getting a lot of business calls today. I'm just looking to relax. I love getting money, but I still need some time to relax, She might say whatever she says, but that's demonstrating a few things. Why are you getting a lot of business calls? She might say, so what do? You could say, I do some top secret work. I can't even tell you. No, well, you could tell her oh, well, I actually work in this particular field. I get a lot of requests because I was rated one of the top guys of the year in that industry. So people blow up my phone all the time. You say, I'm a life coach. You can say, I'm a life coach, and I just opened up 2 new spaces. I have 2 spots available and people on my waiting list. I had to let them know that they can be a part of the coaching now, Now, in this case, some of these things are true in my case, but even if they're not true, you can infuse them. Like I gave an example in the last video where I simply said, I told the girl, she said she came back from some place, Aruba or something. And I said, that's crazy. One of my good friends just got back from there about like a month or so ago. He's a real good friend, that we do a lot of business with. So that's cool that you were out there. Automatically, she said, excuse me, what's your number? And she wanted to take my number. This was years ago when I was doing Uber and stuff back in the day, years ago. But I remember that because I was like, man, I just infused that one thing. And she ate it. Like, we have a world that's filled with, you have the everyday life and then you have the imagination. And people always try to say, oh, you got to tell the truth of what it is that you're doing. But what is the truth? I mean, we all are carrying illusions. We're all carrying titles. Are you really a lawyer? Or did somebody say you're a lawyer and we agreed to what a lawyer was and you went to law school and now you think you're a lawyer? To the degree that you accept reality in terms of the frame that you can communicate from is to the degree that your communication is limited. And to just clarify that, the less imagination you have, the simpler your communication is going to be. You have one guy that talks from a place of, I'm just an average Joe, I work my job, I come home, but I want to attract this beautiful woman. You have another guy that can be in the same situation, but he's like, man, I got great friends, I got great hobbies, I got beautiful girls and girls that I'm really cool with, that I appreciate. I got a rich life. So when I communicate, I'm communicating from a point of having a rich life. And I'm going to communicate that. And that's what separates this person with a rich life from another person. And they could be at the same job. So don't let your environment and your reality define you. You can speak from a place of where you want to be in life. And that's where you got to use your imagination. Imagine if you were a king, what would you say? She says, what are you up to? Well, I just, finished talking to my counsel. and they let me know the different things that were going on around the city and the different power moves we need to make this month. She'd be like, oh, wow, your council, like, you know, you'd be like, yeah, you know, I'm in charge of a nation. You know, I have to run a country, and that's what I do. Now, imagine it, you might not have a nation or a country to run, you know, to look after, but you can have a business, a job that you got to look after, a certain thing you have to look after, a family you have to provide for and look after. So don't take your lifestyle lightly as if you aren't, or as if you can't speak from the level of a king if you're handling your business, you know. And I'm not going to lie, when I'm in my mode and I'm really on my business mode and I'm doing this, I'm doing that, when I communicate, it's like so much value coming out without me even trying. Once again, I tell everybody, listen to Kobe Bryant speak. Listen to Kanye West speak. Listen to certain people communicate that are celebrities, that are high-performing people. Donald Trump, whether you like him or not, or whoever. And they speak and do this naturally. Like, if you listen to Kobe Bryant speak, he'll tell you a story of him with this celebrity, him with that celebrity. Just bring it up. Yeah, so, you know, I was at this person's house. We did this. And it just sounds so casual. Yeah, I had a helicopter or pick me up to go to this place, or, oh, I had a limousine service come get me from this place, or like they're just speaking of these things as if it's nothing, you know. Oh, we went here, we spent 100,000, you know, whatever. Now we don't have to have those same stories, but imagine, you know, just through that communication, when you look at their life, just because of the certain symbols they use, such as high value people, high value places, you're thinking like, oh yeah, this person has value. You have access to the same power. You're just holding yourself back from using that because you think, oh, I live in Iowa, there's nothing to talk about. You got to make Iowa sound like the place to be. You know, you got to make your life seem like the place to be, not where you're trying hard to convince anybody, but simply by speaking normal and then adding one attraction trigger in there. Oh, you know, I just did this, just, you know, finished training somebody at the gym, getting them in shape, you know, and then I just came back. What you up to? You know, so that's really what it is. You're just showing your value. So once again, you dressed in a certain way that demonstrates the value. You're speaking a certain way that demonstrates the value. We're going to talk about what's next after that in the next video. Appreciate y'all listening. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll talk very soon. Peace.